U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a proclamation banning travel from 12 countries, including several from Africa, including Chad, the Republic of Congo, Sudan and Libya, among others. 7 additional countries face partial limits on entry. Those include Cuba, Sierra Leone and Togo, among others. Well, Sophie Mokoena joining us to talk about this. Sophie, this isn't new. It's something that we saw happening in his first term, where there was absolute chaos that ensued after he announced these kind of travel bans. So they're coming into effect on Monday. Talk to us about this and the countries affected.
Well, as you pointed out, there are 2 groups. One is restrictions. You've mentioned the countries, but in terms of Africa, you're talking about countries such as Burundi, Sierra Leone, and Togo. And the argument there is about the security and that a vetting system in those countries is not up to standard, where you can be able to allow people coming from that country to visit the U.S. With confidence that their processes were properly in place in terms of ensuring that people who will be visiting the U.S. from those countries are people who will not pose security threat to the U.S. Maybe even some people who are a security threat to U.S. are using passports from those countries, because the issuing of passports, the processes are not as strict as they should be. You then have the complete ban that would include Chad, because it's near Sudan. It's receiving lots of refugees from war-torn countries in that part of the world, the Republic of Congo, and not the DRC, which is strange because the DRC, that's where the systems and the institutions of government are not functioning well because of the conflict. And then Equatorial Guinea, including Eritrea and Somalia, Sudan, those are countries that are experiencing security challenges. But also you have Venezuela and Cuba, no surprise there. But I think it was just a busy day yesterday for President Trump, including the argument and the tension between President Trump, GOP, and Elon Musk on the current tax cut and expenditure bill that Trump has requested Congress to approve. But unfortunately, Elon Musk is opposing that bill, and he has launched a campaign, listen to this, kill the bill, almost a rhyme like kill the boer, to oppose this bill. It has gained traction. He's using social media in the same way he propelled Trump to the Oval Office and also supported him financially. He's using the same tactic, the same platform to oppose this bill, and this has caused tension between President Trump and Elon Musk, including some congressmen from the Republican Party.
Sure. Sophie, I know there's so much happening. There really is. And it's quite interesting to see the response to this from government, and this particularly the Elon Musk and Trump, and during a press conference, basically the press secretary saying, no, he's always disagreed with the bill, so it's nothing new, nothing to be alarmed about. Anyway, yeah, this is what happens. But listen, I want to get back to the ban, because the reality is that no doubt there are a lot of people from these countries. I mean, we talk about Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, as you mentioned, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. I mean, surely there are citizens that are from these countries already in America or in the US. What happens to them? Do they get deported on this travel ban, or can they stay but never allowed to enter again? Do we have details yet?
He has been deporting people from countries that are posing security threat to the United States of America. And clearly, where they feel that the citizens of those countries might pose security threat to the U.S., he has been deporting those people, and mainly from the African countries. And that is why there was an outcry when he decided to accept or to grant the so-called white Afrikaners as refugees in that country, because you're pushing majority African black people out of the U.S., but you are accepting white Afrikaners from South Africa when South Africa is not a security threat to the United States of America. But I think that double standard, you can see it, because South Africa is not included in these countries. And I was saying to myself, when South Africa was under siege because of President Trump's posture against South Africa, only Ghana responded and supported South Africa. All other African countries were quiet. Now they have to face the music. They are being banned. There are restrictions imposed against some of these African countries because they thought they are better off when South Africa was dealing with the hostility from Trump. And now that is easy. And you see these countries being in trouble. I'm sure many people were even expecting that he will announce individuals from South Africa who would be banned from traveling to the U.S. But here, South Africa is not excluded, and therefore it is going to be problematic. And Leanne, let me add, he has also signed a proclamation for student visas to Harvard University coming from outside America. You know what's the problem. They have been fighting with the Harvard University.
All right, Sophie, thank you. Thanks for just updating us on a range of stories and the repercussions of the announcements that were made last night. And also, just to add to that list as we wrap up the news, is the restrictions, the heightened restrictions are from those in Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. That's a wrap on the news here.